What's up everyone, Adam from FWCI Collector's Edition. Today we're gonna unbox LA Knight. Yeah. This is the Elite Series 108. This is the first LA Knight Elite, and WrestleMania was a couple of days ago. We just witnessed him get the dub over AJ Styles on the Big Show. And actually the Big Show wasn't there, it was just in a regular ring. Big Show doesn't lay down and they don't wrestle. Anyway, first of all, make sure you do subscribe here and help us get to 1,000 subscribers. That is the current goal. And talk about LA Knight for a second. I like this guy. I think WWE needs more people like him on their roster because he's a mid-carder that's kind of constantly nudging the main event as of the last few months. And I think that's a good place for him. All it takes is Cody Rhodes to get a paper cut while he's trying to write a new story and being out for injury in 6 months, and bam! LA Knight could be the champion at any given time. He's right there. He's like the first emergency. If somebody goes down with an injury or something, LA Knight could definitely step up and start doing big things. But obviously the man was called Eli Drake back in the TNA Impact Wrestling days and NWA Power. Well, that was a short-lived thing, wasn't it? And he is one of the few people that's really caught the attention of the WWE fans over the last few years. Oh my god, we were this close to maybe having a Max Dupree Elite. By the way, if you're planning on customizing this figure into a Max Dupree figure, go away. We don't want you here. And shouldn't you be preparing for your court case, Vince? But let's jump into the figure because I do have quite a few things to say about this. First of all, the packaging. I talk about this a bunch of times. I think it's good. I think you can get a signature right there if you want it. It's fine. I have no problem with the packaging. However, this one here, this little window at the top, this just pushes all the way in. I don't know what it is. It's not connected to the cardboard properly, so just keep an eye out for that, especially if you're a mint-on card collector. I don't know how you would feel about that. Yeah, I don't know if there's supposed to be another piece of plastic over that or not, because it just seems to be this plastic here is the only one, so I don't know what to make about that. Alright, first impressions unboxed. Not very impressed. He's got, okay, LA Knight wears really short wrestling boots, and that can make the proportions of like legs and stuff like that be really hard to make it look properly, but I don't know, I feel like there's way too much shin or the legs are way too long. Something about this doesn't look right in terms of the scale. The attire is quite boring, to be honest, in an action figure. You always run that risk with the figures that are just a dude in jocks, basically. It doesn't always work, and this one here, it looks a bit of a plain Jane kind of figure. So first impressions unboxed, not great. But let's have a look at the accessories. He comes with 2 pointing fingers with the unique wrist tape on each one, and 2 gripping hands with the unique wrist tape on each one as well. And of course he needs a microphone because he's LA Knight, and he needs to cut his promo. We'll talk about the head scan in a sec. Let's start with the paintwork on this. We've got a little bit of writing on the boots, and it looks pretty clean, to be honest. The paintwork seems to be pretty alright. LA Knight with the yellow on red, it looks pretty good on the jacket and on the trunks. The logo on the front looks good. The dots look really, really good, actually. And the word Defiant is written down his jacket. So paintwork is pretty good for the limited amount that the figure actually needs. Articulation, you've got pinned double jointed knees. I don't hate that. He's wearing knee pads, it kind of covers it. WWE figures having pinned joints, if there's an elbow pad and knee pad, gets a bit of a pass from me. Very limited articulation on the feet. WWE figures are a bit weird like that sometimes. There's a tiny little bit here, but I don't know, it doesn't really give you a great deal. And the one of the boots is really, really loose on this side, so I'm not sure what that's all about either. It's got a waist cut, it's got the ab crunch as well, double jointed pinless arms, which is good to see, especially for arms, because they're a bit more of a focal point. And then just your regular old WWE head accessory that pops off now, which is very nice to see. You can get him in a pretty decent, like, promo pose, if that makes any kind of sense, but the articulation feels very limited. I don't know if I'm just spoiled with having butterfly joints on a lot of stuff these days, but I'm not overly impressed with the articulation on this figure. I know it's just your regular Elite articulation, but I've been kind of getting into the Ultimates as of late, and Marvel Legends and SH Figure Arts and stuff like that, and leaves me wanting a little bit more. Let's talk about that head sculpt. Whew, she's rough. I don't I barely see the resemblance to this, hey. It's really, really hard. The facial hair is maybe as resembly as it gets, but I don't see the, I don't see it in the eyes, I don't see it in the eyebrows, I barely even see it in the hair. The face scan is just not a good face scan. It is a good face scan, it just doesn't look like who it's supposed to look like. But it doesn't look like some sort of like hideous sort of monster or anything like that. It just looks like a different dude. Tarantino test, he passes. As long as you're just standing him there, holding the mic, doing a finger, you know, he should be perfectly fine like that. When you start getting a bit further out of that, Quentin is becoming a little bit iffy and he's having second thoughts, but I don't see this figure being used for anything other than just standing there holding a microphone and pointing. For some reason, this figure doesn't capture my imagination in terms of like figure photography and stuff like that. Unless of course he's beating the hell out of Broke Corbin, in which case, you know, yeah! Quentin Tarantino says, LA Knight, you got good feet, buddy. My final thoughts are, this is a bit of an underwhelming figure, if I'm being completely honest. You've heard me kind of groan about this throughout, and the WWE figures, I'm into them, but I definitely understand that they lack in certain areas, and they're definitely getting better. Go check out my review of the Asuka Ultimate Edition, for example. That's a good example of them really knocking it out the park, but meh, I'm pretty indifferent to this LA Knight figure. It's an okay first Elite, but I don't know. They need to do some sort of Ultimate Edition with him, with different legs maybe, to make it really work. Maybe put some hair on the chest as well. I don't know, there's just something too plain about this. Is it shelf worthy? Not really. I don't think so. I mean, again, you get him in like an iconic promo pose. Maybe if he had some glasses, that would also help. I don't know. We need a good street clothes LA Knight. I think that is where the money is for an LA Knight action figure from Mattel and WWE. Get us the skinny jeans, get us with the rips in them, get the shirt with the vest and the glasses and all that kind of stuff. I also really wish that Mattel would start molding glasses onto the figures instead of just having it as an accessory. That's just me. But thanks for checking this video out. I hope you enjoyed my review of this pretty average action figure. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and go check out my other WWE figure unboxings and reactions or reviews or whatever the hell you want to call it. In fact, if you like reactions, I have a reaction channel, like 20,000 subscribers, called FWCI, etc. Go check that out as well. I watch all sorts of shit. And as always, everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your figs. I don't think I said that in the last one. See you in the next video. Peace.